Hey, welcome Select Arcane and Happy New Year! This footage was actually taken on Boxing Day when we decided to brave the Boxing Day crowds for some sweet deals. And just to be fair, we never entered Walmart with the intention of buying these. We were trying to get a winter coat. But alas, here we are, spending more money. You might recall a few years ago I did a mini brands unboxing and most of the items were way too big for 1/9 scale dolls. But what really caught my eye was the mini branding. And the example items were so small and they just visually looked perfect. So I decided to get a few baubles. And these things came out to like $60 Canadian, which is absolutely outrageous in my opinion. Not to mention the huge amount of waste. Opening up these baubles, I got 4 of them. You have 2 layers of plastic packaging, plus the plastic ball itself, plus the paper wrappers inside. And just to be clear, a few years ago when I did the original unboxing, they had like this orange slice design, which added even more plastic, but this is still a lot of waste. The list of the items inside is quite extensive. There's apparently 60 plus to collect, including soy sauce, chocolate syrup, pizza, water, live lobsters, etc. And on my wish list are some items that would be really good for performance. You know, things like an egg carton. The pizzas were very helpful a few years ago. The waters, maybe some of the juices, a rotisserie chicken, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that I can use in performance, be of scale, and, I don't know, fit in with my scenes. I do have a lot of plans to use these props in the future, and I do have a performance set up that I am working on and have been working on for the last year, so stay tuned for that. But getting into the baubles themselves, this is what we have going on. The little ice cream cone that flashed on the screen for a moment was one of the fridge magnets. These baubles are supposed to go with a mini fridge that you can fill, etc. So this does mean that all of the items in these balls are food related, which is just fine by me. I'm going to be comparing all the sizing to a doll at the end of the video, so stay tuned. But we're starting off strong with a Panda Express, I suppose, sweet and sour chicken. A large bottle of water, some bagel bites, a Baskin-Robbins Oreos cookies and cream, ice cream, kombucha, original ramune, a fresh fish. It doesn't say what kind it is, but I'm kind of guessing it's a pompano. And that concludes the first ball. As you can see, you kind of get your bang for your buck with how many items you get in each ball, but still, it's kind of expensive. Alright, let's see what ball number 2 has. So far, things are pretty positive. Everything really seems like the right size for a 1/9 scale doll. We're starting off with a microwavable mashed potato. This one actually comes out of its sleeve, so it's interactive. A turmeric shot, which is a type of juice. Very popular here in Canada, I might add. Another original ramune, but this one's a different size. This calls itself an oats jar, but I assume it's overnight oats. A box of soft pretzels. This oversized bag of broccoli feels a little bit odd. The fridge magnet is a grocery list. And that concludes ball number 2. Maybe not as promising. Let's see what's inside bauble number 3. The fridge magnet is a blue kettle. A bottle of juice. This could be very useful for a performance setup. A packet of bacon. Ugh, another kombucha. I don't like it, by the way. Ugh. Another packet of broccoli. Crispy tater tots. A container of Cool Whip. And this ball was pretty disappointing, I think. But surely, ball number 4 must have something really good, right? Maybe a carton of eggs. Another kombucha, why? Philly cream cheese, This dinner box from Pizza Hut seems very promising. It looks like it would be really good for 2 dolls maybe, or just one really hungry one. It opens, so it's quite interactive. And all the pieces are removable. Another of the same fresh fish. Another turmeric shot. Baskin-Robbins Jamocha ice cream. I'm not actually sure what that is. I think it's like coffee flavored, maybe? And the magnet is a fried egg. Alright, let's review the haul. There is quite a bit of stuff here, and it does look promising, but do you really think this is worth 60 Canadian dollars? That's somewhere between 35 to 40 US dollars. But the real question is, will it fit 1/9 scale? Nadine will be demonstrating accordingly. So, in my personal opinion, there are items that won't work, like this Philly cream cheese. It's borderline industrial Costco and simply out of scale. But it could be upcycled into a horse supplement or something, and same goes for the Cool Whip. The ice cream and the kombucha, sure they work, but I don't know what I'd use them for. I found the Panda Express to be unreasonably large, though I guess it's American portions, right? But the water, the juice, the ramune, these are spectacularly scaled and would be very, very useful for performance setups. One of my favorites was the fish, just because it was so silly, and I'm sure I could find some sort of use for it. And as it so happens, when I was in Japan, I picked up some minis that would be perfect to go along with this fresh fish. Everything else I find is a little bit weird, like why would I use it? But I think that the dinner box from Pizza Hut would also be very suitable. So what do you guys think? What would you use some of these for? What do you think is the most useless item? And what do you think is the most useful item for a 1/9 scale performance setup? And do you think that these are worth the price? They're over $10 a ball plus tax. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram @SelectArcane or on Facebook by the same name. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!